now that we have everything labeled in the front and in the back, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the power source. This is where you need your 6-pin header to go to, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the back, and we're going to pick a side, wherever you would like it to go. This is where the power will be going into. I'm going 3 holes down and plugging it in there, all right? So then it fits in like this. I have it a little bit off to the side. And the reason why I have it on the side is because when we're gonna be putting it in the Arduino case, which is somewhere, I think it's when we're going to be putting this on the Arduino case, it will fit, the wires will be outside of the case just a little bit because there's a little bit of overlap. So, to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue gun it just a little bit so that 100% it'll stay in place. And it's just going to reinforce it with glue on each side. So, there we go. And then on the other side, reinforce it with some glue. Alright? That's so it'll stay in place. We just let that dry. Cool off, I mean. Let me plug that. So we let it cool off. Alright. So, next step is to add the wire that goes from the Arduino that goes from the Arduino and will actually end up powering your whole unit from just these pins. All the buttons will be powered from that, and that's what's going to be sending the signals so that your Arduino can read it and submit it to the computer, and it'll take it as an input for either escape, enter, up, down, left, right. Alright, so we have a wire. I highly recommend labeling your wire. Again, make sure you label it power from Arduino to the header. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to expose a fair amount of the wire because you want each pin to be touching the exposed wire, so that it can get power from it. There we go. So there's a fair bit amount of exposed wire from there. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from not the outside of it, I'm going to start from the inside of it. Alright? I'm going to start from the third, or the second hole, but right next to the pins, all right? And again, what I'm gonna do, like we did with the resistor wires, is I'm just gonna take the header pins right here and bend them. Bend them and push them into the hole. Actually, if you leave a little bit of a gap, then you could actually put the copper exposed wire underneath it and then press it down so there's definite contact there too. See here? What I'm doing is I'm leaving a little gap so that the copper wire, I can just fit it right through. See, I'm just kind of bending it at a couple different angles so that it ends up fitting in there. There we go. All right, so let's put the copper wire back in to the second hole on the back, right here. All right, and then you take your pliers and then you kind of bend it back a little bit so that you can fit it through. And then you put it through underneath all the header pins that we just pulled over. Or you could have laid it flat and bent the header pins over it, which would have been the genius thing to do. But I did the other way. I like doing things the hard way. So I have it almost through. You just keep on working it through. I recommend doing the lay down first because it's not the easiest thing to do. And voila, I have it almost all the way through. Missed one. All right, so and you just want things to lie down flat, so you just pull it all the way through. There we go. Yes, would have been way much easier if I just laid it down flat first and then bent the wires over it. Learn from my mistakes, folks. All right, so the header pins are all bent over again. And now you want to push them all the way down. So right now, as you can see, there's a large gap in between it. So you don't want that gap. You definitely need these header pins, these pins to all be touching the copper wire, right? So we'll just thread it through and push them down so that it's kind of like stapling it almost. All right, and you can just crunch them as long as there is a lot of contact. All right, it's not exactly the prettiest, but it does the job. So as you can see, I kind of bent it back over on itself to give it more contact. But so this is the wire that plugs into the Arduino that powers all the signals and will transmit all the signals from your Leonardo Arduino into your computer so it can read it. All right, and now we're going to start soldering. So you definitely want to wear your safety goggles when you solder, and I'm going to set up your station. Right here. Oh, excuse me, the case was in here. Genius, I knew that. So, as I wanted to show you before, the reason why is because there's going to be a little bit of an overlap from your board to the power. Right here, see? That's just so things can be nicely compacted, and this allows you to have your power source in there and then go in through where the wires go to. So not everything's just all crammed in there because it probably wouldn't fit. So now that the soldering iron is getting hot, now again, oops, safety goggles. remember, don't breathe in the fumes.